I finished it up and with Ben, and essentially it's just a song about, we're in this situation right now. The world is changing. We've realized, I think, as a humanity that we can't continue to treat the planet the way that we were before, and we've realized how cutting down on travel, cutting down on movements, just living more consciously and a little bit more strictly as a human race can have an immediate rejuvenation and sort of release for the planet. So the song is just about what comes next. Are we going to continue to just exploit and push and be about ego and money and power, or are we going to start living more conscientiously and in a way that protects what we have on this planet?
And talk about stripping it all away and coming to the bare necessity. It's just you, your keyboard, in a beautiful garden, sitting on the grass. I mean, sister did not even think to hook up a chair. She was like, I'm getting down to the basics here. Was that the impetus behind it?
Be one with the earth, I mean, I've really enjoyed my time in this lockdown. I think it's a very privileged statement to say, but I have learned a lot about how much my brain was just overthinking and overworking before this, And I think the song and stripping everything away and being able to examine who you are has been a kind of a thing that's been a positive for me from being in this situation.
And what have you discovered about yourself during this time? Even though privilege or no privilege, you are given an opportunity to reflect. So what have you found?
I found that, a lot of my priorities were obviously skewed before. I think a lot of people in the same boat. I was overthinking a lot. You just on the constant chase for something that is nothing, really. You're just always striving to achieve and achieve and achieve. And at the end of the day, what are you chasing? Since I've taken a step back and since I've connected with who I am and what I want to do with my life, things have come up. One of the things is I want to help people. I've always wanted to help people, but I've never made the time for it. I mean, I've done the odd thing, but nothing serious. And COVID-19, a reaction to what's been happening, it was overwhelming for me. I knew I had to do something. And we started this project, Good Luck, which is a speeding program we've been running. And we've raised almost R500,000. And, for me, I'm getting so much joy out of doing that. I'm like, this is what I've been wanting to do the whole time. I'm happier now than I was before. So it's been like a reawakening for me completely.
And how can people get stuck in and get involved in feeding? Because I can see how hungry you are to continuously feed those around you. And when you decide to give back, I believe that it's the biggest gift you can give yourself in return. So what has that done for you?
It's been amazing. It started off as just a little video I put on Facebook and Instagram, which was just appealing to the public because I had been out to Frontline. I'd been invited to go and feed a number of people in about the second week of lockdown. And we'd run out of food before we'd even finished feeding the children. We still hadn't fed one adult. And that whole situation just had a really heavy effect on me. I was very emotional. And I used that moment just to talk to camera and say, guys, this is the situation I've just seen. It breaks me. I can't sit here with 3 meals a day on my table and a roof over my head and pretend that there's nothing I can do. And I put this call out to the public to say, we're going to start a fund. We're not going to be any of these government, we're going to take the money and get it to the people, shop, get the food, take it to the people now, because now is when they're going to be needing it. And the reaction was just incredible. We've raised, like I said, almost R500,000 in a few weeks. And we're managing to feed over 5,000 people a day at the moment with that money. So it's been extraordinary to be a part of it. It's not me, though. It's the fans, the people out there who have made it all happen.
Time waits for no man, so we definitely encourage all South Africans to pick up your phone, go onto Afternoon Express's website to find out how you can give back during this time of need. And who knows, we could be knocking on your door and saying, thank you, Siyabonga, Mdeni wakwa South Africa, for giving back. Good luck, and you, Jules, you always do go above and beyond. You always do help others. Is this something that you want to continue after lockdown?
Absolutely. I think we're just reacting to a situation right now, which is obviously it's a crisis and it's unprecedented. But moving into the future, I think we've opened up this channel within ourselves and within our band that we want to continue our foundation. We call it Good Luck Cares for now, and we'd like to see other sustainable ways that we can make an impact in the world and help people through education and through various different channels that we're passionate about. So it's definitely not the last you'll hear from us on I don't like the word charity. I think it's like humanity. It's just helping, it's upliftment.
Yeah.
It's just caring about people. That's what it's about.
Thank you so much, Jules, again for joining me here on Afternoon Express. And well done to all the good work that you and the Good Luck team are doing for those in need. It's truly inspirational. And if you at home would like to contribute to the Good Luck Emergency Feeding Fund, go to the Afternoon Express website for more information. Now, after the break, we turn our attention to health and how stress and anxiety during the lockdown can deplete your energy.
Try the new Tropica Piña Colada. Smooth.
The past few weeks, we've been going through some very difficult and uncertain times. Through these difficult times, the body can take on a lot of stress and anxiety, which can result in us feeling drained and fatigued. So when stressed, we find our overall health takes an incredible knock, affecting our energy levels and helping us feel tired when waking up in the morning with no energy for us to get through the day. So today, we chat to clinical psychologist Dr. D on how to cope with stress and anxiety during these stressful times. Hi, Dr. D.
Hi, Palesa. Really good to speak with you. And you started off by saying we're going through unprecedented times of uncertainty, which generates all these feelings. So the first thing I want to say is to say that these feelings are expected and normal feelings to a really difficult and traumatic situation. If people were not feeling either stressed or anxious or a combination of both in this times, they really probably wouldn't be alive or they wouldn't be able to feel. It goes with the territory. Now, having said that, what happens, though, is that you do have to learn how to manage these feelings so that they don't overwhelm you. You know, what we say, that anxiety and stress are actually often positive emotions because they spur you to action. So if I had to say to you, Palesa, were you feeling a little bit stressed or anxious even before we started this show? You kind of get that little bit of anxiety before almost every challenging situation. But when it's in control, you deal with it, it mobilizes you, and it doesn't absolutely overwhelm you or stop you in your tracks. So if we are experiencing fear or the kind of stress that prevents us from functioning because it's going on too long, or because the extent of it is of such an extent that we can't cope, that's the time where you might need to seek professional help. If it's gone on for a while, but having those kind of times are actually expected. So how do we deal with them? First of all, number one, if you name it, you can tame it. So we have the idea, don't feel stressed, don't feel scared, don't feel sad. We actually are grieving. We're grieving for a world we've lost. We're grieving for jobs that we don't have anymore. We're grieving for our routine. We're grieving for the hug that we used to get. We are fearful of what might be happening to our parents. We're worried about money. So these are all kinds of times of grief and loss. And we go through periods of being sad, periods of being anger, periods of being scared. And tip number one is name it. If you name it, you can tame it. So you actually have to lean into the fear, which is counterintuitive. We always want to shove it under the carpet. Then you get, I feel ashamed that I'm feeling this. It's like a double whammy. I'm not good enough. I should be coping. Everyone seems to be coping. I'm not. Then you become judgmental on yourself. So if you say to yourself, I can name it, then you get some sort of sense of control, of taming it. I'm in the thinking part of my brain. I'm not in the primitive brain where it's going to overwhelm me. So that's the first thing. Another thing that is very important is use self-compassion. That means if you need to take a little bit of a break and take stock, give yourself permission and talk to yourself or say to yourself, I've got this. You're going to be okay. You've dealt with challenges before in the past. I am resilient, and I'm going to be kind to myself and not come down on myself, compassionate to myself. If I need to not be as productive all the time, if I need a break, I'm going to give myself permission to do that. It's a time to be able to do that. And the next important thing that helps absolutely immeasurably is to reach out and talk to people. You know, being understood and having your feelings understood and connected with, not discounted, not saying, no, don't feel like that, or don't talk like that, or you'll be fine in the morning, or it's just a stage. You don't want that kind of talk. Someone to say, yes, it is tough. We are going through a hard time. You're not sure of how long this is going to last. You are missing your mom. It is really hard. So connecting with you on the emotional level really helps a lot, without a lot of judgment, without a lot of advice, without a lot of people telling you what to do. But finding your people who can be in the same space as you without kind of magnifying it and making it worse. And a large part in getting over this kind of stress and anxiety, besides what we need to do in terms of our routine, we're talking about health, we're talking about sleep, we're talking about exercise, and we're talking about how to eat, all of that part, which is very important. But a large part is understanding that this too shall pass, mindful optimism, and seeing a light at the end of the tunnel that isn't always the lights of an oncoming train.
Amen. Thank you so much, Dr. D, for all of those incredible words, because I think through breaking it down the way you have, you've helped us feel validated in feeling this incredible sense of stress and anxiety. But what I love the most is that underlying it all is positivity. We're all in this together and we'll all overcome it together. Thank you so much, Dr. D, in ensuring that our energy levels are up, we're keeping busy, and we're keeping positive. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, good news for all our viewers. You can win one of 4 1,000 Rand pharmacy vouchers courtesy of Vitathion. Reply to the Vitathion competition post on the Afternoon Express Facebook page and tell us why you need Vitathion to boost your energy levels. Competition closes on the 27th of May 2020 at midnight. And terms and conditions can be found on afternoonexpress.co.za. Activate your beast mode with Vitathion. You active and motivated during the lockdown. And we have our first comment here from Ubusiswa. By the way, girl, thank you so much for always engaging with us throughout the show, because I think we've been reading your comments every day now since day one. You saying again here, interesting topic indeed. We're so blessed for just having a great show like Afternoon Express. I'm taking care of my mental health by doing workouts at home and with an app that coaches me, and drinking water that brings up the best in me during this lockdown. We also have Cindy Siwe here, and Cindy Siwe says, I'm jogging to keep my mental health, and it is very good. Well, just remember, Cindy Siwe, ubuti yo siswam 6 until 9. Don't forget, those are the jogging hours that you can exercise. We also have many people here just expressing how much they're looking forward to the show. So thank you so much, everybody, for always tuning into Afternoon Express, because you know our date's most 5 p.m. But worry not, we've got so much more for you after the break. This is a stressful and anxious time for all of us. So after the break, we're going to catch up with renowned Dr. Nokukanya Kanyile, who shares some insights on the psychological effects the lockdown has had on South Africans and how we can maintain a positive state of mental health.
Find your smooth fortune with Tropica. Buy a Tropica, follow the entry details on the pack, and stand a chance to win your share of 1 million Rand in prizes, such as a trip for 2 with KLM to Amsterdam, LG G8X cell phones, LG TVs and dishwashers, guest vouchers, guest watches and accessories, plus the smooth grand prize of a Suzuki Ignis. The more Tropica you buy, the more chances you have to win. Tropica, nothing smoother.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. She was nominated as one of the 100 most influential young South Africans in the science and technology category in 2019. With a following of more than 100,000 fans on Instagram, she is no ordinary doctor. She uses her social media platforms to engage, educate and uplift her followers. Dr. Nogokanya Kanyele, better known as Dr. Kanyele, joins us to talk about the effect that COVID-19 and the national lockdown has had on the human mind. Hey girl, welcome back to Afternoon Express.
Good afternoon, Bali, and hi everybody on Afternoon Express. I miss you guys.
I miss you too. And I'm loving the energy that you're coming through with, because even though we're talking about a sensitive subject and a serious one at that, we don't have to approach it with that. We need to approach this with positivity and a whole lot of energy, baby.
Definitely. I'm so glad that you got me on. Let's get straight into it.
Let's get straight into it. Now, this has completely disrupted a lot of our lives and our day-to-day functioning. You're a doctor. How has it affected your medical life?
It's actually very interesting because, you know, for the first time, I think, in my career, I had no idea what to expect. Previously, we've had seniors who've been able to guide us, and we've had government protocols that are, like, really strict. But at the current moment, I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow, whether we're going to have equipment, masks, if we have a case. Luckily, I'm working in a hospital with pediatric patients, so we're not really seeing the numbers. But I still have to be very aware, wearing masks and putting on my PPE. It's a little bit scary because if I become positive or I come into contact with someone who's positive, I might have to separate from my family and even leave home possibly. And I think that's a little bit scary for me, but we're doing really well at the hospitals. We're getting our protocols down and we've got a lot of drills going on so that we are prepared.
That is good to hear, making sure that every box is ticked where you are. You spoke that you are a pediatric doctor. So how is it looking in that sector for the kids? I mean, this must be very scary for them, and this must also induce a lot of anxiety. So as a doctor, how do you communicate and talk to them?
So the most important thing with children is that they receive whatever information you know. So it's kind of difficult because some people don't even worry about coronavirus. Some kids don't even know that there's this thing. They're just frustrated about the fact that they have to stay at home. But it's also difficult because some of our really chronically ill kids, people with heart conditions, kids who have kidney conditions, they're having to be extra precautious because of the fact that they're at a higher risk. So I mean, for them, it's a bit scary, but we're doing our best to give them simple information that they can understand, but also educate their families and their friends so that everybody is sharing and communicating accurate, up-to-date information. I think for me, it's really incredible to see how young kids are helping each other change masks when they sit in the line, and then like sharing the sanitizer between each other as if it's a game. And even though they may be playing, they are doing things that are possibly going to help the future generations.
Definitely spreading the right information and in the right way, an exciting way. Got that on a very serious note. I mean, njengabantu, we are so used to face-to-face interaction, engagements. This is what we're built for. We want to hug. So what long-term effects does social distancing have on human psychology?
So if you look at some certain examples of the way that people connect, different people connect differently, and the best example of this is 5 love languages, where some people need physical touch as a form to connect and really bond with their partners, and other people need quality time. So in a time like this, you know, you have a lot of people experiencing fears, worries going forward, and they're unable to express them with the people that they love because of social distancing. But it's also important to know that while the term social distancing is applying, it's actually just physical distancing. Now is the time when we really need to socially connect with one another, because the anxiety, which is the fear of something that can't physically harm you per se, is actually crippling to a lot of people, and we need to communicate with one another so that we can share and help one another get through this time.
No man is an island, and there's no luck or no hope if we decide to take this on by ourselves. So how do you take care of your mental health during these struggling times?
So as a medical professional in this country, I try to live my life as well as advise people to have what they call a biopsychosocial approach to healthcare. So biologically, I try to make sure that my body is strong by taking some multivitamin supplements and a little bit of extra vitamin C, purely because we're going into the winter season. I'm not outside as much as I usually am, and a little bit more stress is being put on our shoulders purely because of this whole situation that's going on. So all of those things weaken my immune system. So I need to stay strong, and exercising between 6 to 9, or even doing yoga or indoor exercises to keep my body strong. The other thing we can do together is make sure, like I said, psychologically, is to talk about this. Make sure that you're phoning family and friends, and don't forget that if you have a psychologist or someone that's around you that you previously spoke to, call them, or maybe do an online session just like we're doing, because psychologists and psychiatrists are actually still providing that service. You can also go to your local clinic, but just maybe call ahead so that they can prepare an area for you to adequately socially distance. And I think the last thing socially is to make sure that we take care of ourselves. Make that the information that you have available to yourself very accurate. So follow appropriate channels of information. Secondly, is to, when you have that information, you're able to calm yourself a little bit more. And you're able to also say that, you know, this is something that all of us are not sure about. It's not just me. And therefore, I'm able to control my mood, my emotions, and do things a little bit more positively. And lastly, sleep. We need to make sure that we wake up at the same time and sleep at the same time every day, whether you are 32, whether you are 5 years old, because a lot of the time our sleep gets thrown off because we don't really focus on having schedules, and that can affect our mood, and it contributes to the anxiety we feel.
It's so funny. I saw a meme the other day that's saying that 10 p.m. is the new 4 p.m. So we don't need that. Let's keep normal working hours. A routine is key. But Doc, earlier on, you spoke of different factors, man, that can cause you to feel down, feel depressed, and truly affect your mental health. Imali, sisters, you have to touch on it. It's something a lot of people are stressed about. Job security. Abantu are not sure if kuzoba khona umsebenzi or will I be unemployed after this time. So how do you stay positive and find yourself keeping uplifted in this uncertain situation?
So that is such a great point, and I know that a lot of people are really concerned about their jobs. I think the first couple of things you can do in the interim before we get out of lockdown is speak to people who you owe money to. It's important to reach out to your banks, your landlords, anyone that needs to take money from you and say, you know, this is my financial circumstance, and then they'll be able to possibly make a plan for you. It might not be the best or the ideal situation, but it will be able to at least relieve some of the stress that you're feeling around money. The second thing is, with regards to your employers, actively engage in a communication with them, because I feel like a lot of people don't want to talk to their employees because they also don't have the answers. They're also not sure. But I feel like as a community, when we know exactly what's going on with our businesses, etc., we're able to make plans. And as a person who suffers from anxiety or any mood issues, having a little bit of information can help me manage that stress, and I'll be able to be more efficient. And lastly, I think we need to, going forward, just try as much as we can to budget, make sure we don't spend unnecessarily, and always allocate time to calling to the government, because they've got all of these funds that are available. If you have a small business, please apply, because there are funds available for us. We as a nation are run basically on entrepreneurship and small business, and we do not want that to go away. So many jobs are going to be lost if we give up. South Africa, let's not give up.
And on that note, information is key. So for those that don't know, the government has put in place structures of support to hold us up. And furthermore, the president is speaking to us tonight. So make sure that you are tuned in and you hear what's going to come next, so that we can all be equipped with what we need to go forward. Finally, Doc, before we say goodbye to you, do you have any messages of hope and strength to your viewers?
Definitely. You know, a lot of people always say that as medical professionals, we are on the front line. And I say, no, guys, we are the last line of defense. You at home who is staying home and avoiding unnecessary trips outside, you who is maintaining your mental health and contributing to your community in any way that you can, you who is washing your hands and sanitizing as frequently as possible, and teaching those around you to do the same while wearing your cotton mask or surgical mask when you go outside, you are on the front line. Because if you stop corona with yourself and your family, it doesn't have to get to us. And I know that I can go home and be with my family in a safe environment. So thank you for everything you're doing in South Africa. And I cannot wait to see you guys when eventually we open up everything.
Thank you so much, Doc. Again, everybody, stay home so that Dr. Kanyile and everyone else that she works with can stay safe. Now, thank you again, Doctor, for being so passionate about well-being and sharing your knowledge with us. Remember that your mental health is as important as your physical health. Remember, after the break again, we're back in the kitchen with Chef Anel with another quick and easy recipe that the kids are going to love. See you after the break.
Catch the repeat of Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao Saturday at 8 p.m.
Let's go! 3 teams remain, and it's a fight for the final long life charm in the competition.
I am scared, I'm nervous.
Dando's kryptonite is water.
Teams are pushed to their physical limits. You've got to give it your all, guys.
I make a huge mistake. It's anyone's game.
Catch the repeat of Tropica Island of Treasure Curacao Saturday at 8 p.m. only on SABC3.
Your daily dose of goodness. Now also available in long life.
Made with love by Clover.
Welcome back to the Afternoon Express kitchen. Now, getting your daily dose of goodness has now become that much easier thanks to Clover Crush carrot and orange juice. Made with the perfect blend of 100% pure fruit and vegetable juice, Clover Crush carrot and orange is enriched with vitamin A, C and E and is the perfect refreshment to accompany any meal. Today, it's the hero ingredient in our simple, zesty sorbet that will satisfy those sweet tooth cravings and will definitely give you that vitamin C kick you've been looking for. I want that kung fu fighting, and I love the fact that this delivers.
Exactly, and that's what Doctor just said. We must increase our vitamin C, and that's what we're going to do now. Is you get it in extra with your carrot crush. Yeah.
I love that, following doctor's orders.
Yeah. So we're making a sorbet, a delicious sorbet, and sorbet is like a palate cleanser, but we're going to serve it today with a hot pud on the other side that I'm also going to make.
So we have a little hot, a little cold.
Yes, a little hot, a little cold.
Just like you, just like us, just like our personality here. Something for everyone, something sweet and something savory, but always keeping in mind the carrot and the orange.
Carrot and the orange, yeah. So to make the sorbet, you need a syrup. So we've added a cup of water and we're going to add a cup of sugar.
Okay.
And you just cook that till it forms like a thickish syrup, Okay, and it's been done, voila.
I love it, voila.
Voila.
Although sometimes I feel like this voila is not helping you. Mina, I need to see you. I'm the type of person that needs to sit with you like this, going step by step through everything. But Anal has done a good job with detailing everything on the website, so you do not miss out on anything anyway.
Because it has to cook for 5 minutes to get about this consistency.
Beautiful.
And when it's this consistency, you put it in the fridge to cool down. And then you take it out, and then we're going to add our flavour.
Okay.
And we're going to add a bit of more vitamin C with some lemon juice. Like the doctor said to us, we need for immune and a bit of citrus, the zest.
Helping.
Yeah, but you can add any type of citrus inside here just to give it a bit of flavour, because this is all about flavour now.
Okay, yes.
And then we're going to add our crush.
Beautiful. Okay, so you have lemon there as your citrus, but essentially I could go with the orange, I can go with the grapefruit if I want.
You can go with anything.
The flavor's up to you.
Yes.
Okay.
And Polly, do you know the difference between a sorbet and ice cream?
I don't. I actually don't.
No?
Is it just a dessert?
No. So sorbet is made from a syrup, as you can see. It's a sugar syrup. But ice cream is made from a creme anglaise, like a custard that's made with cream and eggs.
I love that.
So
Okay, so that's more dairy-based, and this one is just more fresh, icy.
Yeah. So we're going to add this. You put this in a little pan, and then you pop it in your freezer, and you just stir it every half an hour.
Okay.
Put your alarm on your phone every half an hour.
You stir
it to form like small little crystals, as you can see on those little sorbets there.
Stunning.
Yes.
So we wait until it becomes this consistency, and then we're good to go.
Scoop it out, yeah. Scoop it out, and then it's perfect to eat. But now we're going to make something to go with this.
Oh, I like that. I also like the fact that you've thought about the kiddies here when you put this ice cream cone. I think I'd actually make this an ice lolly. Why not?
You can make an ice lolly with that, and you can even put it into like ice cubes and you can add it into your cool drink.
Oh, I love that.
Water.
Versatility in the kitchen. We're taking a sorbet, we're flipping it on its head, and we're making it a delicious treat.
And now we're making a mug cake.
What's a mug cake now?
A mug cake is a cake in a mug.
Oh, it's that simple. Okay, I was going too deep with it. So what do we need here? We need egg?
We need egg. I'm going to tell you now, because my husband was snoring last night at about 10 o'clock, and he woke me up. And I had this craving for something sweet, so I decided I had carrots, I had flour, and I made this quickly.
Girl, you're a better woman than me. I would have kicked that gentleman out the room and said, sir, you know there's a couch downstairs. You can definitely snore your heart's content downstairs. But you're a loving woman. You've decided to feed yourself and make yourself happy instead.
So we've got an egg, a bit of milk, a tablespoon of milk, a tablespoon of oil, and now we're just going to add self-raising flour, 4 tablespoons of that.
So what if you don't have self-raising flour? Because I know I don't stock it. I'm not much of a baker myself.
Yes. So if you've got our normal flour and you've got baking powder, it's about, for a cup of flour, you add a teaspoon of baking powder.
Okay.
So for this, you'll add like a quarter of a teaspoon.
Okay, so there are options.
So some
in case you don't
sugar
have that.
in here. Very unhealthy, but when you've got a sweet craving, sister, you have to get that sugar in.
And not everyone is trying to be thin, cute, and snatched, honey. We're just trying to enjoy our lives.
Exactly.
So please.
Especially during lockdown.
Absolutely. Okay, so I also just want to find out, you put in some carrots there.
Yeah.
At home, I have got a ton of carrots. I think that they're on special right now.
Yeah.
I've got a whole kg.
Yeah.
There's just me. So is this something good to use when you've got, you know, carrots that aren't that fresh, something a little bit older?
Absolutely, you can use that for that. If they're not so crispy anymore, just grate them and put them in here. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just going to put some lemon zest in here. And this is perfect with a sorbet. That sorbet with this is just going to be divine because both, you've got the flavors of the orange and the carrot in both.
Always complement each other.
Like that. So, Polly, all you do is you add this, and it took me not even a minute to make.
Yeah.
You add it in your mug. Put a bit of spray and cook in your mug if you want to, but you don't have to. And you add it in only 1 minute, 30 seconds in the microwave on high.
That is brilliant.
And you've got your fix.
Quick. That is exactly what I need. I love the fact, Cha, that we keep doubling up on the flavors, but knowing Palesa, I'll have the sorbet that has some clover crush in it, and then after that, I'll still have your little mug in a cup, and then after that, I'll still down it with some clover crush again. Doubling up on the clover crush every time. Thank you so much, Adele.
At least you'll get the vitamin C in.
And that is all that counts, Doctor. You said it, so don't blame me for overdosing. Now, that's a refreshing treat, offering a sweet taste and a boost of goodness from a whole family to enjoy. Now, get this recipe, head over to afternoonexpress.co.za.
Crush, your daily dose of goodness. Now also available in long life.
Made with love by Clover.
Everyone has just been engaging online and I love it all. Thank you so much. I'm definitely feeling the love. One of the people who've done just that is Omatla. And Omatla says, spending time with my mom and my son, watching movies, cooking and baking is something that keeps me positive, motivated and gives me all that energy. Well, girl, I hope you were paying attention in the kitchen because we just baked up a storm. We also have Royal King Slayer Lee Tu here, who says, great topic for the day, #Afternoon Express. Doing workouts help balance my mental health and helps me give out the positive energy to my friends, family and mates, even though we can't be together. But over social media, encourage them to stay positive since it's a war we never chose. #stay safe, #stay positive. Definitely a war no one expected, but we're here now, so let's carry on together. We've got another comment here from Unomvula says that she's tuned in. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've got Ukagiso here who says, I'm reading more, engaging with more, with other online content, and most importantly, finding ways to adapt to change. And I think that that is something we can all learn, adapt to change, because that's one thing that's constant. Now, we still have one more exciting guest joining us on the show. After the break, we chat to Mrs. South Africa 2020, Jacqueline Ferns. Welcome back to Afternoon Express, and I trust you're having a fantastic Wednesday evening. In November 2019, 31-year-old Jacqueline Ferns from Polokwane was crowned Mrs. South Africa 2020. Since the outbreak of COVID-19, she has used her platform as Mrs. SA to help those in need, especially children. Jacqueline is now joining me live from her home. Hey, girl! Hey, Jacqueline.
Hi, how are you?
Fantastic. Just as I said to you off screen, what a way to end off the show with that red lip.
Thank you
It's
so much. I had to bring it, you know.
I know, Queen, you always bring it, and I'm just so glad that you're joining us here again. Now, how has lockdown been for you?
Goodness, I never thought I would actually use the same, lockdown in a sentence ever in my life. But it took a minute to get used to, in all honesty, to find my groove, to get used to this new way of normal, our new normal life. And, just find my groove and get into a routine at home. But it hasn't all been bad. I've got to do things that I never thought, I would have time for, like building puzzles and just finding my, my groove, my way around. But it does take time for you to kind of find your feet in our new way of normal.
Yeah. Talk about how Jacqueline got her groove back, right? But I think that's everyone's sentiment right now. We all feel exactly the same, so girl, 100%. But being Mrs. South Africa, I have to ask, being in lockdown, I mean, I agree with you. The only thing before this I thought you could lock me down to was a plate of hot wings. But now we're locked down to our homes. So how are you working and being locked down as Mrs. SA?
Well, you had to rethink and reinvent the way we do everything. Yeah. We had a whole calendar planned with so many events throughout the year, and we have to now take everything online. So we still do everything that we did. We now just do everything online. Lots of Zoom meetings, lots of Zoom calls, so many. You literally have to reinvent and rethink everything that you do. But it actually also opened up this new way of life, this new horizon for us to see how easy it is actually to do things remotely and to communicate with one another, from the comfort of your home.
This has given us a lot of power. It's given us a lot of power back from being chained to a desk and chained to a computer screen. You now have the freedom to be productive almost anywhere you find yourself. And I love that about lockdown. And you yourself have gone above and beyond, making sure that you're not chained down to any type of limitation. And you've been giving back, getting stuck in and giving to those who need by distributing essentials and food to children's homes. So how's that been? And please tell me more about your initiative.
Oh, I've been so blessed. I've been working very closely with Women for Women. They are, my charity of choice, and they've blessed us with so many essentials, so many food products that we needed, direly.
Yeah, it just sounds like. So there's a little bit of a delay, and it seems like we do have network issues, but worry not, because we hear you loud and clear, Jacqueline. It seems like we need to be out there. You decided to go above and beyond the normal call of duty and be the change you want to see in communities.
Actually, really know what is going on out there.
I'm moving it around.
Yeah, I feel you, Jacqueline. You have to be out there and get your ear on the ground.
And the more you are out there,
Jacqueline, I unfortunately have to say goodbye to you. The network is absolutely dreadful, and I hate to let you go. But hopefully we can catch you up with you soon. If not, we'll call you back and get you towards the end of the show. Let me call in Chef Anele right now. She's got something refreshing, something nice for me, something to cool me down after the heartbreak of not being able to connect with Jacqueline. But worry not, because we always have a backup plan here on Afternoon Express. So if we can't get through to her today, what do we want to do? We won't try again tomorrow.
Yes. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. So thank you so much for this. I mean, I have to ask you, Anel.
Yes.
We've asked everyone online how they stay positive and how they keep upbeat during lockdown. How have you done that?
You know what I do is in the mornings, because of that exercise gap that you've got, I go and cycle. So I go and cycle along the beachfront, and that uplifts me because every morning I look out and I see Table Mountain, you know, along the beach in Blouberg. So that is something I really do. And then I try and think positive. You know, that's the only thing we must do is to stand up and think, we can be glad that there's not bombs falling on us. You know what I'm saying? In the World War, this is something silent, but we can manage it.
I mean, it might feel like a bomb to South Africans. I think that's safe to say. It might feel like something that we were never ready for. But I like the thing that you said. You keep positive thoughts going through your mind.
Yes.
Now, do you have to remind yourself to be positive? Oh, and now on those days, be positive. Pick it up.
Because there is like a dark cloud. And it comes sometimes just slowly. Suddenly you realize, what is happening to us?
Yeah.
And then suddenly you feel like a bit... But then you must just say, there's so many people without food out there. There's so many people without jobs out there. Pali, we are so lucky.
We are.
We've got on the best show in the country. We've got
I have to agree.
Yeah. We love each other. You know what I'm saying? And we are able to spread a message of hope on the show. And that is so amazing to be part of that. And that's
definitely. Another thing that South Africans are looking forward to is what you have cooking in the kitchen for the rest of the week as we head into the weekend. So what can South Africans look forward to you dishing up?
So tomorrow we're baking some cake. Oh yeah, with beautiful white chocolate ganache over it. And then Friday we're making some chicken for the weekend.
That sounds delicious to me. I know South Africans' taste buds are already tantalizing and saying, give me some of that. And trust me, everything Anel has up her sleeve is good. It's quality, but most importantly, it is cost effective. These are things that you have in your ward, in your cupboard. These are things that you have in your pantry. So no need to go shopping. We are making sure that South Africans stay budget friendly and they're smart financially.
Yeah, budget friendly and healthy. And like comforting.
Yeah, very
you
comforting.
Want people to be comforting.
And talking about comforting, someone who gives me so much comfort tomorrow, we're speaking to Amanda Dupont. She is an actress. She is a television star. She's done such incredible work within the entertainment industry in South Africa.
I'm so excited.
I'm also so excited.
We're opening our doors. We want them inside.
I know. Another person that I want inside was Samkelo Ndlovu.
Oh, yes.
Girl, her TikToks these days have been electric. She's hilarious on TikTok.
And I'm addicted to TikTok. When I started, I can't stop.
So I've got an idea. I think tomorrow, since we've got Amanda and we've got Samkelo, we're going to have them both try help us with some TikTok, but also keeping South Africa excited as well. I'm looking forward to it.
Are we going to do something for TikTok?
Let's say South Africa must stay tuned to their social media, and who knows, if we drop something, we might drop that heat. Another artist that I really, really love, I mean, one of my favorites. I listen to his album almost daily, to be quite honest. Nice and groovy music is Bongeziwe Mabandla. He is soulful, he is strong, and he is as strong as our viewers. I have to thank every single South African for making my day every day just by tuning in. But from us here on Afternoon Express, good night and happy eating. Oh, it's a little cold in here. Cheers.
Afternoon Express, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.